Dear students, today we are going to do a lesson from class 11 English textbook Hornbill, and the name of the lesson is Silk Road, written by Nick Middleton. Now, this lesson is a travelogue. What is a travelogue? Story about somebody's journey, story about somebody's travel. This lesson is a travelogue, that is narrator's journey to Mount Kailash. He describes about his journey to Mount Kailash. Now, let us first understand these terms that are going to be there in the lesson. This is Silk Road. Silk Road was a trade route in ancient times from eastern China to Central Asia and Europe, and India was also connected to it. Now, Silk Road, as the title goes, Silk Road was a portion of this Silk Route which passed through the author's journey while he was traveling to Mount Kailash. He calls it as Silk Road because of its appearance. It was covered with snow, and due to its white topography, it gave the look of raw silk. So he called it as the Silk Road. Now, let us see who all are there in this story, or who are the people whom he came across. The author came across Lamo, a Tibetan, at Ravu. Ravu is the place from where his journey starts. He stayed at this Lamo's house, and early in the morning he had to start his journey, and this Lamo gave him the gift of a sheepskin coat, because it would help him in the winters or in the cold weather there on the mountains. Daniel is the one who accompanies the author up to Hor, a place. Seetan is an expert driver who drives the vehicle and takes him to Darchan, that is the place from where the author would climb himself. So this Seetan is, he was a very skilled driver. He knows the shortcut to Mount Kailash. He knows how to drive the vehicle on snow-covered roads. So he is a great expert driver. Now let us see about the journey. Now the author describes how he went during his journey from one place to the other, how he passed, what all he saw. He gives a beautiful description of the scenic beauty that he saw on the mountains, all that he came across on the plains, all that he saw in the valley. So their journey, his journey started from the hills of Ravu. Ravu is the place from where he started. Lamo's house where he stayed, he gave him a sheepskin coat, the gift of sheepskin coat, so that he could protect himself from the severe winter. Then from there they started, and they crossed the plains. On the way they saw gazelles, the antelopes, wild asses, herds of wild asses, grassy, stony and rocky areas. He passed through these areas. Then they came to passed through the rocks, from the rocks to the hills. That is, now they started climbing, and on the way he saw drokbas, that is the shepherds tending their sheep, tending their flocks of sheep and herd of cattle. He saw nomads. Nomads are the people who move from one place to the other. Wherever they find water or wherever they find food, they pitch their tents and stay there. They had huge dogs with them called as Tibetan Mastiffs. They were very ferocious. They would start chasing the vehicles. So he saw drokbas, nomads and these huge dogs. Now when they were climbing, because now the climb started, it was a steep ascent, steep climb, and they came across a wide river which was covered with ice. Then there were sharp turns because they were climbing, and it was a steep road, and the driver, but he was an expert, and they came across snow on the road. There were sharp turns, bumpy rides, very difficult climb, and they came across two blockages. These two blockages were snow-covered roads. But the driver, he was an expert, he knew how to drive on these roads. At one place, he just stopped, he came out and he threw handfuls of dirt on the snow-covered road so that the vehicle should not skid. So and even Daniel came out of the vehicle so that the vehicle could be lighter, and then he drove through. So he was a skilled driver, Seaton was a skilled driver, and he drove the vehicle to safety. And now they reached the top of the hill, and it was 5,500 meters above. Now, after that they started their drive down, and they came down to the salt lake where they saw, that is, the author noticed a hub of activity. Lot of activities were there. Then they reached the town of Hor, a place, and here Daniel had accompanied the author up to here. Here he got a ride in the truck, a lift in the truck, and he returned from here. Now the author was left with the driver. Now, what happened here was two tires got punctured, two tires of the vehicle, but the driver got them fixed, and this was a place at the shore of Lake Mansarovar. The author describes about its beauty and divinity. He said Lake Mansarovar is a sacred river, sacred lake, and it has one gets a divine feeling by just having a look at the lake. He felt very nice. He had a nice view of the lake, and even at Hor in a cafeteria he had some coffee, and he had a nice view of the lake Mansarovar. He felt very nice. Now from here they had to now continue their journey, and they started driving to Darchan. Darchan is the place up to where the driver would take him and leave him, and he would then go back. From here the author would have to climb his journey to he had to climb on his own to Mount Kailash. Now when they reached Darchan, on the way itself, due to cold, the author caught severe cold. And when they reached Darchan and stayed at a guest house, the author could not sleep throughout the night because of this severe cold that he had caught. He had a sleepless night, his nostril got blocked, his chest was heavy, he was not able to breathe. Then in the morning, this driver, Seaton, he took him to the doctor, to the Darchan Medical College. Now when he took him to the doctor, he saw that it was not like a hospital or the room where the doctor was sitting. That doctor did not look like a doctor because he was not wearing any overcoat, he did not have any stethoscope, he did not have all that usual paraphernalia, that is additional things which a doctor should have. He did not have that. He was wearing a pullover, he had covered his head with a hat, and with a hat or cap, whatever, and he checked him and he gave him some medicine which was a brown colored powder in the screws of paper, pudiya, around 15 screws of paper, 15 पुड़िया मेडिसिन की, वो मेडिसिन एक पाउडर की फॉर्म में थी, ब्राउन पाउडर, वो उसको दिया, एंड ही गेव हिम सम pellets which looked like the sheep dungs, and he gave them. But this medicine gave him relief. After having this medicine, he was feeling comfortable and he could continue with his journey. Now at Darchan, what happened at Darchan? They reached there, but the author faced a lot of difficulties there. Now let's see what were the difficulties that he faced. The author's condition was very bad because he caught severe cold and he could not sleep the whole night. One of his nostrils got blocked, his chest was heavy, and the driver Seaton took him to the doctor. The doctor gave him some medicines. Then he had the language barrier, language problem. He only knew English, nobody knew English, and he could not understand their Tibetan. So the problem was that he was not able to communicate with anybody, he was not able to understand them, and they were not able to understand him, the people over there. Then he was lonely, he was too early for the pilgrimage. The pilgrimage season had not started. What was this pilgrimage called as? The Kora. Kora, that was the religious journey to Mount Kailash. So that was called as the Kora. So his purpose was to do the Kora, and he had reached there too early. So now he would be lonely. So that was again another problem for him. Now what happened after that? He had good luck. What was the good luck? First of all, he said, my positive thinking helped me, because he was positive all through, and his positive thinking strategy worked. That is, he got a good company. Who was there that he met? He met Norbu. Norbu was a Tibetan who worked in Beijing and at Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. He had come there. He had also come there to do some research work, some field work, as well as to do the Kora. He was also an academician. So the author got an ideal companion. He got the ideal person to accompany. He was very happy because he felt as if two academicians had met here from the library. That is, both of them were working, both of them were academicians, both of them had come here for their field work, for their research work. At the same time, both of them would be doing the Kora together. So this Norbu, he proved to be a good company to the author. Now both of them made a good team. They had a common mission, the research work, the field work, the journey to Mount Kailash. They are going to make some observations. Then they both were academicians. Both of them were doing this field work and research work. They both knew English, they could understand each other, and they both of them had to do the Kora, the religious journey to Mount Kailash. So the author felt relieved when he met Norbu, and Norbu was a person with, he was good by nature also. So he was an interesting person. He even suggested him that they would hire yaks to carry their luggage. They would not be able to carry the luggage while climbing. He suggested that, and both of them started their journey together.